Ryan Griffin. Good evening. Welcome back to the Couchcasters podcast. It's been a while since we gathered. A few months, actually.
It's been a while.
Good to see everyone. Gentlemen.
Likewise. And I always got to say, that last clip of that intro with Mike always puts a smile on my face. I don't care what over the years, every time we've seen it, it is just hysterical and it's very relatable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
that's my cousin Mike, one of a kind. It's watching a game with him is just too much fun. It's too much fun. And fortunately for us, my Steelers have given us plenty of material over the last few years. The Matt Canada era was very difficult on my cousin's heart and health. He fired.
How's he doing with the Shedeur Sanders situation? I know he wanted Shedeur a lot. Does he regret it? Is he happy now? Or
I don't know. It's I actually talked to him today. I didn't even think to ask him about that, but I wanted Shedeur as well. But if it's the Shedeur we've seen behind Cleveland's third string offensive line, I don't know. It's a fair assessment, but it's not good. Although the game I watched a little bit of him, he could have thrown the ball away umpteen times before he got sacked for a 35-yard loss.
You're trust in the pocket.
You could have just chucked it out of bounds 5 or 6 times right there before he got sacked, and then he just got sacked. And it was like, okay, come on now. I know you're not. I know it's not Jonathan Ogden at left tackle here in this game, but you can throw the ball away. Come on.
Yep.
But that was a problem at Colorado too. He took too many sacks at Colorado playing behind a poor offensive line. So,
certainly deserves some sort of opportunity somewhere, but
probably
not in Cleveland.
Gabriel looked pretty good in the reps he got. It'd be hard. I'd be hard for me to believe they're going to cut Dylan Gabriel and keep Shedeur over, at least what I've seen. They may cut Pickett. He's probably the worst of the lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they keep Pickett?
They said today they're keeping 4 quarterbacks rostered.
Wow.
So,
which
is very Browns.
That's very Browns-ish.
Let's double up and keep them both.
Yeah.
And then
it's like, don't you keep 2 and your third stringer is really on the practice squad, and then you can just throw a jersey on him if you need him?
That seems to be the kind of
it's odd you'd burn
the other 31 teams do it, but
weird you burn 2 roster spots on a quarterback.
Guys definitely won't play.
Is Jim Harbaugh? He's coach of the Chargers now, right?
Yeah.
I hear they're in the market for a backup quarterback because their backup just went down for the year apparently. So that his statement was, we need to have an experienced quarterback back there just in case. And someone says, as long as glove size or hand size doesn't matter. And it was a picture of Kenny Pickett with his gloves on. I was like, it's very possible.
You won't find any pictures of Kenny P without them gloves on.
Nope.
I think he had him on draft night.
Came out. Yeah, I got drafted.
He was just as surprised as everybody else that we took him in the first round.
I raised you Skylar Thompson.
Oh.
Happily give him Skylar Thompson.
Happily employed by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
For now.
Boy, Aaron Rodgers better stay upright or we're in a lot of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble anyway, but if he goes down, it might finally put us in position to draft a franchise quarterback next year.
Well, you got Rudolph.
We'll see. Yeah,
Although, are there any franchise quarterbacks? There's a lot of names coming out next year, but are any of them I don't know.
There's
wow, me.
Kirk Cousins for $100 million. Here, got some money to burn.
Couldn't we get him cheap since the Falcons are paying him for like the next 5 years?
yeah.
No, got to get a 145 million guaranteed, or I'm walking.
You want to get fleeced for one
How
last
very Falcons to drop that and then draft a quarterback with the 8th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Here's 150 million guaranteed, and we're going to draft your replacement in about an hour and a half.
Some teams just, you don't know what they're doing, but
nope.
It's all according to their plan.
I don't think they know what they're doing either. That's the problem.
They have a justification somewhere, but
I know.
I'm scared to say it.
Somebody in a room somewhere, they've ironed this out and agreed on it. So, I mean, a lot smarter people than me. It's just some things are just like.
That's why bad teams stay bad. I mean,
this is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. So,
who do
Bama,
we think played? Sorry, I got
go ahead,
one
Hunter. No, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
I thought it was kind of fun. Who do we think plays more games in the NFL, Joe Flacco or Danny Dimes, between the Colts and the Browns?
I mean,
oh man,
I'd probably say Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because
you think AR's just done?
That division's going to be wide open for a long time. I think the Texans are the best, but I think any of the other 3 teams could be 5 and 7, still have a shot at the division.
At a playoff wild card.
Injury, I just don't think Anthony Richardson has gained any trust to be given any further opportunity.
You almost feel bad for the kids. Like, it's not his fault. He didn't.
Should not have been picked that high.
Ask somebody to draft him 4th and start him last year. It's like, what?
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't his. He hasn't made the most of his opportunity by any stretch. But you also have to sit back and go, the Colts, like, you should have to forfeit a draft pick for butchering this so bad. That should be a new rule. If you blow it so bad, you should have to give up your next draft pick. Like, you clearly don't know how to use a 1st round pick. So we're gonna take this one from you. You think about it this year, and then you can try again next year.
The Browns would be really in trouble then.
I know, right? Browns hadn't picked in a dozen years. They keep forfeiting all their 1st round picks.
Yeah.
Okay, in 4 years, Joe Flacco will still somehow be the starting quarterback. And
he is a week 1 starting quarterback this year.
It's crazy.
Incredible.
I mean, hey, he can still play a little bit. I mean,
he's got an arm. He can still chuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shooting for the stars with him or anything, but
no.
I mean, if my quarterback room looks like that.
Super Bowl winning quarterback, Joe Flacco. I'll reiterate. He did win a Super Bowl. I know that was a gazillion years ago, but he still did win one. And as you said, yeah, I mean, when I saw him play last year, I was like, I guess he's what, 38, 39?
He's 40.
He's 40 now. I mean, he can still sling. He can still sling that big skin. So yeah,
younger than Aaron Rodgers.
He is younger than Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron.
Aaron. So it's pronounced Aaron. That skit gets me every time. I don't care. It's too funny.
This is the longest week of the year that we're about to enter into. I'm not prepared to have to sit and go to work this whole flipping week before I get to watch Alabama play football.
Yep.
It is back.
Like, it is back.
5 long days.
5 long days.
Starts on Thursday, though. If you're a football fanatic, you start watching the games no matter how.
I was about to say there's a good 3-day stretch. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You got some good, and up into Saturday night, because I think LSU Clemson is Saturday night.
Yep.
That's the primetime game.
Sunday's got some
night,
good games too. Sunday and Monday. Monday's got some late games as far as being in the latter part. We got a 5-day stretch for Labor Day weekend. Tons of games. Love it.
Yeah, lots of football. How you guys feeling about Saturday? The weather's looking like it may be taking an upturn.
Here's my thing, and we'll get into it, but I think we'll win this game. I don't think it's going to be pretty. It's playing on the road. Tallahassee, I know they sucked last year, but Tallahassee's a tough place to play. They have a
week 1.
completely new roster, as they do every year. I mean, that's how Norvell operates that program. Gus Malzahn, I know he hasn't really evolved his offense too much to the current trends or anything like that, but little shifty running quarterbacks. It's all on film last year, how you can beat us. I think it may be a long night or a long day, I guess, but I don't know. I don't feel great about it. I think we'll squeak it out, maybe by a touchdown, but it's going to be a painful one, I think.
I think so, too.
I think a lot of it depends on the weather.
I would be shocked if the FSU of last season is just as bad this season. And if they are, I don't think Norvell finishes out the season. If there has been no signs of changes.
It can't be as bad.
And I think that's partly why Gus got hired, is that Norvell needs to win football games this season. Mm-hmm. And week 1 at Tallahassee, that the fan base does show up, and they haven't been broken yet midway through, so they'll be loud. You know, it is a tough environment.
Well, I mean, to your point, if they haven't given up yet, a win against the Crimson Tide would definitely revive Seminole Nation, that's for sure. And then, you know, they take a ride with that. But our kryptonite being a quarterback that can use his legs and complete passes. But I think that maybe Jeff or Fonzie stated his completion percentage last year was only, what was it, like 55%, something along those lines for Castellanos?
Yeah, I think it was in the 50s, wasn't it? Or low 50s?
That wasn't great.
I don't know.
He lost his job.
I just better than that, but I don't know.
Now, these types of Gus has given Saban fits all these years. Now, this isn't the Saban defense. So, you know, I'm like, will we react differently, this style of defense, to a Gussie Poo kind of offense that he's going to run? I wouldn't be surprised if the first play of the game was like a triple reverse fake pass, you know, double fake swing, something, whatever, just to try to get a touchdown early like he did in that Iron Bowl that year when they did that and scored on the first play or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe you're right. Last year we looked terrible against mobile quarterbacks. Even though we didn't give up a ton of points against Oklahoma, Arnold just ran all day and kept getting first downs, even though they didn't cash them all in for points. I mean, we held them 17. That's pretty good. You should win a game if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But so it wasn't like we were just getting scored left and right. But still, that his kind of offense with a quarterback like that always makes me nervous. But also, I don't know that they can keep that up for 4 quarters. I don't know if they have the horses on defense to guard all the weapons we have offensively. If it's a mutter, now certainly having Jam would have helped if it was a mutter. But I think if it's a mutter, I think we're just going to line up and just run the ball all night. I don't think they have the horses defensively to keep us from moving the ball. I hope I'm really right on that.
I mean, I hope so too. People assume I think the line will just be better, and I'm not. It's been a point of contention.
They've got to prove it that'll be the plan.
I think on the interior we'll be fine, but especially at right tackle, really the whole right side. But I think ultimately the interior will be fine. That's kind of my prediction. But if someone doesn't solidify their spot on the right side of that line, I mean, they'll just pick on that weak link all the time.
It'll be a long night if we show a crack there.
It'll make things much harder for us, I think.
That's the key, man. If we can just give him a semblance of a pocket, I think Ty is going to change the way this offense operates, just in his ability to throw the short game, to hit the intermediate pass, to hit the check down, and he can throw it, maybe not throw as good a deep ball or have much of a cannon arm that Jalen had, but I think the playing the quarterback position in terms of reading the coverages, reading the pre-snap, the short intermediate game, I think is going to really transform this offense into the next level if the front five can do their job. But if they suffer, if there are cracks and we get exposed, we're in big trouble.
Weather's looking okay for the next week. I mean, or for Saturday. I mean, we're looking at, the rain chances have gone down, so that's good. But obviously, being in the coastal area down there in Tallahassee, it could rain for 4 hours and it not even be on radar for that long. So it's pretty crazy. But
now
I'd be shocked if there's a rain shower.
I would love if it rained and then us in the white unis and the game's over and they're covered in dirt and stuff. Man, that's after a win, obviously. If they're all nasty and dirty and we lose, that's not so cool. But as we win the game and the uniforms are all covered in mud and dirt, and stained all up, man, after a game, that's awesome. I think that's pretty cool.
Just not a repeat of the USF game from 2 years ago. Please.
Yeah, the South Florida.
We're not playing a lacrosse player at quarterback either.
I was going to say, I think our situation's much better going into this one, but
everything we have heard, though, Ty has done the right things in the situations he's been put in.
That's all we need. Take care of the ball.
Right. Now, granted, there have been not live games. There's a difference in scrimmages and live games, but you haven't come out of there and going, well, Ty struggled today. He was 5 of 16 in the scrimmage. You're not, or he took 6 sacks in the scrimmage today because he was happy. You're not hearing these trickles come out. If he was struggling, or if they were having problems, you would hear trickles out. Even if they didn't officially make a statement, you would hear leaks coming out if he was really struggling with the offense or struggling in the locker room. But they voted him team captain. That's a big deal, in my opinion. They voted him team captain, and he's doing all the right. Every clip you see of him, he's making the right throw. His ball, he looks like throws a catchable ball. Please don't turn the ball over.
That's the big thing. Yep. Thank you, Scott. Yep.
That's taking care of the ball. It was a huge issue last year, obviously. If you look at our losses, we really struggled on the road just in general, but with the exception of the Tennessee game, the possession numbers were just atrocious. We got to figure out a way to stay on the field, and if we're not going to score and we're going to sputter, we at least need to hold the ball for 3 minutes. We can't just
if the defense
go 3 and out over and over and over again, or go out there and run 2 plays and fumble or throw an interception and then dig this hole. It's just, I think it'll be different. I don't know. I need to see it before.
It'll be different. We can't say better or worse yet, but it will be different. I'm very confident in saying the offense will look different. Whether it's better or worse, we'll find out.
You could, if you cut down at least half of the turnovers from last year, you win. I think you win 2 more games, and you give yourself a chance or a real shot to get into the playoff. If you cut it in half this year, yeah, I think we'll probably be a 10-win team.
Heck, even in the last couple of games, we had like 9 turnovers in the last. When you looked it up last year, Parker, it was like 9 turnovers in the last 3 games or something. Some crazy number.
It's tough. So
11 in the last month or something like that. Just insane turnover numbers. Can't have
was not winning football, that's for sure. And but to your point, maybe Ty doesn't have as strong of an arm as Milroe, but I think if he can be hit the medium passes, short range, the checkdowns like you were talking to, that's a big thing. Is you don't have to throw it to the moon and get a home run ball every single time. You can beat them 6 yards every other time, 5 yards there, 4 yards there, and just nickel and dime them all across the field. We won many games like that for many years. So we don't always have to be a home run threat, but when it's time to put the foot on the gas, it's time to go. It's time to do it. So we'll see what happens.
I think paired with Grubb's offensive scheme too, they'll complement each other nicely. So I think both pieces will be important.
I'd agree with that.
think the receivers, though, in general, need to. It's maybe a little bit of a hot take, but they need to be able to do more as well.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bernard at the end of last year was great. He was able to run those intermediate routes with the anticipation and get open. And Milroe was very inconsistent with those throws, but he was able to make those plays because Jeremy Bernard was able to create space and create the opportunity to make a good throw and make that play. Whereas Ryan Williams, electric player, he's awesome. There's no one more athletic, but he needs to kind of develop a little more from the curl route and streak.
He needs to ascend to that next.
He needs to pull out tree, and he'll be unstoppable.
Which I think we'll see a big change in that this year, since he won't be. He's not going to be the outside threat. He's going to be the slot guy, which will create better matchups for him to get open and maybe catch those intermediate passes and stuff like that. But yeah, to your point, he just can't be just a home run threat in the fade route.
And he's not going to get. There won't be a game where he has 20 targets like that Tennessee game where he 20 balls thrown at him, and it's like the kid's should be a senior in high school. He's got 20 targets.
Yeah. Last season, I thought that was the expectation, is that Bernard's going to be the veteran and let Williams, kind of sit behind him, kind of learn from that. Not, we can only throw it to this one kid. It's like,
he blew on the scene so hot that they just started.
I know, and I get it.
Just chucking it to him.
It's not working. Maybe throw it to somebody else, please.
I think the addition of Isaiah Horton is going to be massive. A big-bodied receiver, 6 foot.
He's way bigger than I thought he was.
Oh yeah,
Hale's back too. He's a big body that.
I think he's going to be a sneaky good wide receiver this year. I think Jalen Hale is going to be an impact player, and we will see him more and more by middle of the season. Heck, I mean, if he gets in there and has a couple, 60-yard, 70-yard games, I mean, heck, I definitely got to utilize him somehow. There's a lot of talent in that wide receiver room. So
deep.
Yep, very deep.
I know the
Dupree graduated, right?
Who?
Our tight end, Dupree.
Right? They got drafted. Him and Robbie Oots are in the league now. So
we got Cuevas and was it Danny Lewis?
Danny Lewis, but I think he is hurt right now.
All right.
Dalton,
and then there's one other one.
Dalton from Troy, and then we got another kid from West Virginia as well. A couple freshmen.
Gotcha.
I think there's some depth there. I don't think there's someone
Marshall
Pritchett. Maybe
is that the guy's name? Does that name sound familiar? Marshall Pritchett.
I think he's a
tight end. Yeah, he's a big bodied, about 6'5", 6'6". If we can get him up to about 260, he could next year can be a good frame for that.
I'm not sure. I need to. I haven't done enough research or watched any previous game clips of the Grubb DeBoer offense, how they use the tight end, how they attack with the tight end. I'm not sure. Saban always had, outside of O.J. Howard, the tight end was basically a second tackle.
Yeah.
Number 89, but he was like 6'7", 325, and it's like listed as a tight end. It's like
basketball player, 6'8",
we had a few
about 245.
traditional tight ends along the way, but I know Saban liked that unofficial third tackle as a tight end as well.
Now Irv Smith, that was another one where he wasn't a O.J. Howard level. I thought everybody was saying, "Oh, he's going to be better." I was like,
I thought Irv's was a senior year, whatever year that he went off. He was incredible that year. Was that 18?
I think so. Yeah,
sounds right. Yeah,
because everybody went off that year until the championship game against Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one stings still.
That's the only game that we didn't go off that year, because Irv Smith was elite, man. He was awesome that year. God, he was so good that year, man. So I don't know. I know Cuevas like a sure-handed receiver. I don't know if he blocks very well. I don't know what his blocking status is or how they utilize tight ends in the blocking scheme. I'm not quite sure, but I'm interested to see what we get out of the tight end group.
There were flashes last year, and then they just vanish.
They didn't use Dupree enough, in my opinion. I thought they should have.
Same.
I thought he should have gotten 5-6 targets a game.
Yep.
He was a walking first down, like Heath Miller. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. I mean, he was super reliable and could do it all. He was really kind of just a Swiss Army knife for the position, and super limited, kind of watered down offense last year. But
yeah,
you know,
even only get 5-6 yards a catch, but that'd always be first downs. It'd always be a first down.
Yeah, you'd always get a first down, and then you just wouldn't see him anymore.
And then
all right.
It's like Gibbs playing every 8 series.
Don't get me on this. Don't start it. I'll never forgive Bill O'Brien.
Every time Gibbs gets picked like 4th in my fantasy draft, I'm like, that guy, they use him at Alabama. He played every other quarter.
Pretty much.
That'll get me riled up talking about all that again. It's a wound that will never heal, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's a wound that never will heal. What's the spread Saturday? Is it 12 and a half?
13 and a half.
13 and a half.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That seems high to me, but then again, I'm like, is it though? Is it high?
Part of the thing with
high?
Florida State, I think, is I still think it's going to be a close game. I'm kind of a pessimist right now, but you know, this is a whole new roster too. Like,
yeah, I had no idea.
We have a ton of experience coming back. You know, there's definitely some mojo there. There's a little bit of culture in our locker room. I think they're probably still figuring that out, figuring out who the leaders are and all that. And, Mike Norvell, I don't think is a great coach. You know, I think the program has kind of in shambles after last year. It could be a bloodbath for all we know. You know,
I hope so.
There's
I'm
many
nervous.
things that kind of point me in one direction. There's plenty that see the other side of this for the people that are predicting 45-17 or 45-10 or whatever. You know, it's just.
Hey, if we score 45 points down there, we had something was hitting right. Like everything clicked. If we hang 45 in that game, in the first game with all these new pieces, and we hang 45 on the road at Florida State,
I think it's possible.
It's going to bode well.
I really do. Do I think we're going to do it? No, I think it's very, very possible. I'd say we're probably.
I could easily see it being an ugly first half, and then through stamina.
That's exactly what I agree with you, Hunter. I could see it being 7-6 at halftime, or 10-3 at halftime, something like that. Ugly game, maybe a couple of turnovers because of the weather, if it's bad weather, or maybe a couple of turnovers just in gameplay, maybe a missed kick or something, but like a 10-3 game or a 1-score game at halftime, and then things get going the second half, and eventually Florida State just runs out of depth and gas, and we end up beating them, by 14 points or something like that. One of those, not a backdoor cover, but when all the dust settles, we end up winning like 24-10 on a sloppy night or something like that.
Doesn't feel like it, but that was.
But then you look up and you've covered, and you just like, man, this didn't feel like a 2-score game. Like I can. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting in my stomach. Like it might take a few games for us to kind of find our rhythm, and this is a tough first one to try to do that with. So that's why I'm thinking we may kind of lean on the run. Just see if our guys can just out-bull them.
Would be really nice, wouldn't it, if we could establish the run game early and work it into the offense,
run all night,
and kind of have a rhythm on offense and not just hope that.
He said, "Work it into the offense, maybe regularly."
Yeah, it's just.
I expect last year all the time on this. So, yeah. I mean, you got to. I mean, have that lead. He can be.
Well, we talked about this at work, Parker. He's playing for his draft status now. Like this is the year you're playing for a lottery status.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to make a statement. Everybody right now considers him as I'd say a bust in a way. Oh, he was a 5-star, but he's gotten better, but they're like, he's not performing to the level that everybody thought he was going to be. I was like, this is where you make your money right here. This is your money season.
Yeah. Erase all that.
Exactly. Exactly.
He
And I
dominates
expect
this
that
year.
too. And if he doesn't, and maybe he'll be back next year. I don't know. But I have to expect that he
It's
is.
got to start there. I think, like not Parker, but I think Fonzie said up the middle with Brailsford. Is it going to be Dewberry and Roberts, or?
That's what I would assume. I mean, Roberts has to be one of the guards.
Yeah,
you'd think at this point.
If he's healthy, he's got to be RG1. I mean, it's
if he's cleared from concussion protocol. No, I knew he was still dealing with that. So,
and then would Dewberry be the left guard next to Proctor?
Vandermark?
That's what I hear, and that's what I assume we'll see. I mean,
or Vandermark. Yeah, Vandermark will be in that rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I know they rotated some linemen in and out last year, so I think they may continue that. Keep that.
Well, Vandermark's kind of the guy they like. I'm sure if they release the depth chart, you'll see his name like 4 times. He'll probably be like the third right tackle. He'll be the
backup center,
the first guard off the bench. I mean, he'll play. I don't know if he's going to be a focal point of our offensive line.
Right.
I think he's a reliable depth piece. I think that's why he was brought in last year. I think he showed exactly what he is, and every team needs him. So,
yeah,
but
agreed.
I would consider it sort of a disappointment if Roberts and Dewberry can't lock those 2 spots down. But
yeah, they got Dewberry for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff, by the way, I was right about that. He did come from Texas A&M.
Dewberry did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I knew it was that or Mississippi State, one of those maroon colors. I just couldn't remember which one.
He did. Yep, he transferred over there. I went back and looked that up the end of last week. So,
well, I think that'll be a huge piece when it's all said and done. I think that's going to be a big, a huge piece there.
He's played a lot of SEC football.
Bingo.
Last few years. So,
and you mentioned
that means something. That means something.
Yeah, he knows the conference.
Played elite competition.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason we went and got him, so I think he can do nothing but help.
And I guess right tackle's Formby.
Well, like I told Parker, sometimes you got to have your worst moments before you can, have your best ones. And
I like the guy. I think
he had his worst moment in front of
He has
everybody on TV, in front of national television. Had his worst probably game of his life. And so you can always say, hey man, you've been at the bottom. Like you've been at rock bottom. Like now you can show what you're made of. Now he'll have a chip on his shoulder. Be like, I'm gonna show these people that I can play. Like I was brought here for a reason. Nick Saban signed me for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that's the case.
Who knows what will hopefully have been born from that awful, awful game.
Well, he, obviously against USF, just terrible, terrible penalties, and that's what everyone remembers. But other than that, I didn't get to watch a ton of it. I watched it after the fact, but he didn't have a horrible, horrible game when he wasn't holding guys. He can play for sure. And, he rotated in last year, and he wasn't noticeably bad or anything like that. So
I was about to say after that
my sake, and especially
terrible game, you never said his name after that awful game, and he played quite a bit. So it's like he didn't have any other moments that leapt off your screen where you're like, "There's Formby again. What are they doing?" Again Formby. Didn't have any of those.
Yep. I mean, it's his first game action, and probably, I don't think he played his true freshman year really at all. So
yeah,
first game experience against guys that are his size and same sort of athlete he is, like probably has to iron out some of those sort of subconscious things he probably doesn't even know he does because he was just bullying guys in high school.
Yeah, he was just better than everybody.
It's a really hard position to learn, I think.
Well, and USF had a couple of quick guys off the edge there. They had some they had some tough guys coming off the edge there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean,
so
hope he does well. I like the kid. So
if they do, that's the key to everything on offense. They give him a pocket. I think he's gonna eat.
Yep. But again, have to figure out this run game. Someone in this rotation without Jam has to separate themselves a bit. I think Jam Miller obviously opens up the run game a lot more, but
who you think it's going to be,
or Daniel Hill or one of these guys. I think Dre Washington's going to get an opportunity.
Yeah, is it all new blood in the RB room?
Nope.
No,
Dre Washington transferred in, but
AK Deer's a 5-star that we just signed this year, came in. But Richard Young, Daniel Hill, you asked me a question.
Kevin Riley.
Kevin Riley, yes, again. So these are people I'm expecting to be starters next year with the big rotation. And some of them I don't expect to still be there, actually. They're going to be going into their sophomore year. I think Kevin Riley he's a redshirt sophomore, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll be technically, draft eligible next year and want to go get some, highlight film so he can get drafted, something along those lines. But I think what we're going to see is Daniel Hill's going to make some noise here. From the stuff I read, is he's actually probably the best pass catcher out of the running back group. And I'm like, are we talking about the same guy? This guy's 6'1", 242 pounds. You're saying this guy's the best out of the backfield? And they're saying, yeah, he is. And I'm like, okay, well, Derrick Henry coming down inside or off right tackle and then going out and catching a 15-yard pass. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
I'll take it.
Heard a lot of good things about him. It's just, I think one thing to consider in all this too is, you may have all these guys, they're going to have very limited opportunities. This is a pass-heavy offense. There's so many targets to go around and so many pieces, presumably in this offense, that these guys may get one or two chances to really separate themselves. Jam's obviously the guy. They keep talking about a rotation, but historically in these, grub offenses, there is the guy, just because there isn't enough touches for a running back to, there are two running backs to get 10, 15 opportunities a game. So, We'll see. I could be proven wrong. We have so much talent there that there could be three guys that
have
need
the
to
options
get the ball every game, But
I'd like week one, them all have 10 carries minimum each. That'd be great.
Ty, 5 passes.
I'd be happy just with that.
Yeah,
Just
Ty with
distribute
5
the ball,
passing
please.
attempts. That's 30
5
runs in the first half.
5 passing attempts, 125 yards, one touchdown.
If that was a play selection, 30 runs to 5 passes in the first half, that means we're running the ball up their ass. Like if that's that big of a discrepancy in run to pass, that means we're just running it all night. Like they hadn't stopped anything.
Run the ball, Paul.
Unless, like Parker said, unless he's 4 for 5 for 125 yards and 4 touchdowns of like 4 80-yard bombs.
Yeah, and depending on the weather, we might actually see more action in that area.
I think, well, it's kind of like what y'all said. I think it's going to be probably a Bama wins by 14, maybe be like a 31-17 kind of game, pulling away late, but probably like a 10-7, 10-3 game at half. As I said, the weather's going to be a massive factor in this game. I'm just hoping that it's not a deluge the entire time, so where we can actually see us pass the ball. And, I do want to establish a run. That's been a big thing that we've talked about for like the last 4 years is where did our running game go? Well, Bob took Gibbs away from us, an underutilized thing to do, but after that, we really never saw much. So I am eager to get that established again and go back to our roots. Which it really, if you can run the ball, it opens up the passing game. So, you know what?
Ryan Grubb throws the ball 40 times a game. He did it in the NFL. He did it in college. Maybe there's change there, but I think they need to establish the run early in the season. I don't think we'll ever see a truly balanced offense. It's not Ryan Grubb's game. He's all about opening up these big pass plays, and he does that through the run game, but it's probably going to be a 60-40 split most weeks.
I could see that.
Yeah.
this first game, it would be great if we came out and rushed for 250 yards.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. God, awesome would that be?
I think people are going to be surprised how, that's why he lost his job in Seattle. I think they shouldn't have got rid of him. He's about a league average offense with who knows how many guys on that offensive line. I mean, they were just throwing bodies out there. They were so bad up front. But that was the big complaint. He passed the ball like 62, 63% of the time in Seattle, and they didn't like that.
Now, I could be wrong. It still felt like even then Seattle didn't have a bad season. I mean, it wasn't great, but I don't think it was enough to lose your job over.
No, I was surprised he.
Yeah, I was surprised he got fired too.
I was happy here, but
it worked out well for us. But I was surprised that they let him.
If we have a great season, he'll probably go back to the NFL. I was like,
I think it's a 2-year window with him. I think he's here this year, and I think he's here at least 1 year to coach Keelan Russell and run the offense with Keelan Russell as the bona fide QB1. And then if he does what we hope he can do, then I think he'll have either a head coaching job somewhere or he'll go back to the NFL as a coordinator and he'll get an NFL job. Or who knows? Maybe he'll love it here and love working with Debo that he'll be like, I'm good. I'm good making my $1 million plus or $1.5 million or $2.5 million, whatever I make, whatever his salary is, and calling plays for elite athletes.
It'd be nice.
You can't be upset that way. It's just how it works.
Same staff, for more than 3 years. It'd be nice to have some continuous flow instead of having to plug and play every 2 years. I mean, that was the thing with Saban's teams is everybody, all the coaches got. They got better jobs and they went everywhere.
Every championship game, we were having to play the game with a different coordinator because ours got hired away. I swear, or got fired like Lane did.
I feel like this is the first season where that didn't happen.
Right.
Well, I mean, the continuity is very important, especially at this point in the Boers' tenure, because, Clemson. They had Venables and Tony Elliott for how many years?
For like a decade, it felt like.
Yeah, and that was huge for them. It was just seamless year to year. I think he needs to keep someone around for a while. I don't know if it's Sheridan. I'm sure Sheridan will be here for as long as he wants to be here. I wouldn't bet on Grubb staying too long, but man, it'd be really, really nice if he stayed 5, 6, 7 years.
I would love that, like a Kirby Smart run.
Yep.
I'm a little confused about Sheridan's position. What is actually – he's still on the offensive coordination, but I don't really know what his
tight ends
contribution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's the tight end coach now.
Okay.
Which I think that's what he was at Washington. I think he did tight ends.
You're right. I think he is the quarterback coach maybe and like co-offensive, like Parker said.
I'm sure it's in title only in terms of salary. I don't think Sheridan's going to be in there diagramming or calling any plays. He's not going to be like the third down play caller.
No.
They, speaking of that, you talk about, not really hearing anything negative coming out of, practice or fall camp. Let's switch gears and go to Auburn. I have heard nothing positive coming out of fall camp for them.
They won 4 national championships this month. What are you talking about?
They did.
And 2 of those, the other ones, there's 2 of them that and I think we all talked about it, but you can't claim a national championship when you were on probation in 1993. That is just the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. And in 2004,
the BCS was established.
I mean, it's just, we won't even talk about that. Whatever. Everybody claims something nowadays, so whatever. Might as well. Let's claim about 8 more because I know there's about 5 that we don't claim that we probably should.
There's all these like random organizations that vote you a national title, and it's like, okay, we're taking that one.
Association.
Well, we're taking that one.
UCF the national champion in 17. That's why they can claim it. But dentists.
And that they said, the ones that voted UCF being the national champions that year also had Alabama as the national champion in 2016. We lost to Clemson. No, we did not win the national championship. And I am never going to claim that just because some writer or some organization says, oh, you know what? We feel bad for them and we really liked how they showed spirit. So we're going to give them a participation trophy, our national champion. They're America's champions. How about that? It drives me up the wall. Golly. But
I mean,
going back to the negative stuff about Auburn is that Hughes made numerous statements saying, "Oh, we may play all three quarterbacks. Who knows? You know what? We may have. I'm going to call first downs. The OC is going to call second downs. Somebody's going to call third downs, and it got so bad to the point that Lane Kiffin even reached out on Twitter and says, "Well, who's going to call fourth downs? Just being Lane, poking the bear." And I'm like, well,
punt Hugh.
Yeah, seriously, they're going to be doing a lot of that if they can't figure out the quarterback situation. It's just,
I know the Auburn fam is pretty high on themselves.
They are. They haven't won
them
more than 6 games since 2019, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. I kind of see them on all these. It's all conjecture. These preseason lists is. I think where they are as a program right now, everyone's itching for them to make that next step. They really have to prove it. I have no confidence that team is going to be very good this year. They'll have above league average defense, as they always do, but they have all these receivers and they don't know who's going to throw to them. I mean, They play Friday. So they got to figure this out. Baylor's not a pushover. Is
that a neutral site game or is it at Baylor?
It's at Baylor.
Okay. So does Baylor play at Auburn next year?
Yes.
I assume so, yeah.
Okay.
They were talking about that on the talk show on the way home today about how this is going to be such a crazy weekend filled with so many games, but a lot of what's going to determine we could wake up on Saturday and be like, Baylor absolutely destroyed Auburn because of that, or Auburn comes away and wins by 3 touchdowns, and we're gonna be like, well, what's going on here? I thought we were not, I thought Auburn wasn't supposed to be any good. Who really knows? I'm just ready for it, guys. I am ready for Thursday to get here. I'm ready for Friday. I'm ready for all of it.
I have no faith in Hugh Freeze. I think he's a hack. So I think he'll get exposed again this year. He's been exposed 2 years. They seem to forget that. They just seem to ignore that it's been 2 years of futility. They're still blaming Brian Harsin. But if he sucks this year, it's over.
To Hugh's credit, he's really recruited well there.
He's recruited well,
the exception of 2026, and obviously that cycle's not close to being over. But even going back to his Ole Miss days, he can hang his hat on beating Bama twice, but it's not like he was a great coach for Ole Miss at the time, but it wasn't like he was putting them in contention for the conference every year. They'd make some noise.
He's living off 2 games.
They were really a perennial bowl contender when he was coach there. They weren't, with the exception of 1 year, I think they won, they were 9-4 and may have won 10 games 1 year and, whatever, but they weren't this national contender.
It was the 2 Bama games. That's the only reason he still is. That's why Auburn hired him, because he beat us once and got lucky once. The Chad Kelly game there were like 2 or 3 crap luck plays in that game.
Yep.
2 of them happened on the same play, led to an 80-yard touchdown for Ole Miss.
So freshman that year in college, I was in the upper deck and into that end zone where that insane play. What
are you going to do with that? But that's why he was hired. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that's because the guy that friggin' turned him in at Ole Miss hired him at Auburn.
Yep.
Make sense of that. Make that make sense.
Man, I hope they buy him out. Like, go bankrupt, they're in so much debt. They got to be in so much debt.
I just think he's a hack and just living off the 2 Saban games. And then he went out and said he should have beat him 5 times. That's all Auburn needed to hear. And they went running.
Yep.
Yep. If he wins an Iron Bowl before he gets the sack, he will get a nice hefty pay cut.
Cruz doesn't think he'll make it to the Iron Bowl this year. Cruz thinks he'll get fired before before the Iron Bowl. Good. He said the Iron Bowl Auburn will have an interim coach.
Well, if they're in a 3 QB situation, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, they brought in, Ashton Daniels, I think, first. He was Stanford's quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't very successful. Granted, it's Stanford. I don't know what the expectation is for a quarterback at Stanford.
Andrew Luck was the last successful quarterback there.
Yeah, and I mean, they sent 2 guys to the NFL in the past 5 years with Davis Mills and Tanner McGee. So it's like talented quarterbacks go there.
Didn't they have a guy named Kevin Hogan or something like that for a little bit after?
Mustache Hogan?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'd say,
he had a sick musty.
But they brought him in, and then they go and get Jackson Arnold. And I guarantee you they threw all this money at Jackson Arnold because he threw for 68 yards against Alabama on like 17 attempts. But he rushed for like 150 because we couldn't figure out the wishbone. It's just insanity.
Are one of the ones who invented the wishbone offense, and we said can't figure it out.
That was so painful watching Jackson Arnold hike the ball, turn, slowly jog, turn the corner, and run for 25 yards. I'm like, the guy, it's not Michael Vick cutting up the middle and taking off, dude. It's like Jake Coker ripping 30-yard runs every time he took off on the same play.
Insanity. I think he had 25 rushing attempts, I want to say.
Or like 155 yards or something. Like, what?
But I mean, the craziest thing, if you follow his story, like Dylan Gabriel was at Oklahoma, and they basically ran him out of Oklahoma because Jackson Arnold was it was the next coming, apparently. And then he goes in, and obviously their situation now is he didn't pan out. He would not release the ball, and he's apparently still has that issue at Auburn too. But I mean, maybe Oklahoma would have been better if not running Dylan Gabriel off, and could have been a different story.
They ran him off for Jackson Arnold.
Yep.
Oops.
And I think Dylan did all right for himself going to Oregon.
He did okay at Oregon.
Worked out for him.
He was about to make the Browns roster. I think he was all right. I didn't realize he was Hawaiian.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And he's left-handed.
Interesting.
They all throw left-handed out there. I don't know if you guys watched that game last night, but starting quarterback's left-handed, and it's fun to watch. I think he's young, but
didn't the kicker only have 1 foot or something?
Is this for?
I didn't pay that close attention.
The Hawaiian kicker taught himself how to kick watching YouTube. I thought he only had 1 foot. I mean, I thought he was.
That's crazy.
Had a handicap of some kind. But I know he taught himself how to kick watching YouTube. I do remember reading that he had never played football or anything, and he just started watching YouTube and started taught himself how to kick.
Yeah, I think didn't he walk it off yesterday?
Yeah, then he kicked the game winner. But I thought I read that he also had some handicap or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe I'm making that up somehow. But I could have sworn that.
I mean, that'd be quite impressive.
Had something that was of note. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. But what threw me was that it was Hawaii playing at home. I'm so out of it. I was thinking they still played their home games at that stadium where they used to have the Pro Bowl.
Oh, the Aloha Stadium.
Aloha Stadium. Have they not played there in a while?
They're building a new stadium for them.
Okay.
It's going to be a new Aloha Stadium.
Because I think that stadium was crumbling, essentially. I think there was serious structural issues that the state didn't quite have the funds to kind of remedy, or it didn't make sense to.
That was my whole childhood, watching the Pro Bowl from that stadium, dude. I used to love that.
Yep. I mean, I remember it. It was good.
We went to Hawaii for my honeymoon, and one of the days we were over there, we spent the day in Honolulu, and we toured the stadium and around there in Pearl Harbor and all that. But I remember touring that stadium and going around that stadium, and then hearing that it was kind of falling apart. I was like, oh man, that's iconic, man. That stadium there.
Is that the reason they stopped doing it?
I think so. I think that had a lot to do with it, was the facility. I think if Hawaii had a nice stadium, they probably would have kept the Pro Bowl there. But I think Parker, like Fonzie said, the stadium was crumbling, and NFL was like, "Man, we can't do this here anymore."
Now they don't even
I'm sure
have
the
a
players
Pro
liked
Bowl.
I'll
They got the
say.
Pro Bowl games.
Yeah, but I don't know. I know it was hard to do the Pro Bowl the way it was, just because of the players being in the Super Bowl couldn't play in it. Because wasn't it the week before the Super Bowl, or was it the week after?
It was the week before.
It's the week before, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that how it always has been? Has it always been the week before?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I remember that
I've seen,
Super Bowl players never played in it because they were always either getting ready for the game or had just finished the game. But man, those games, man, we got the Peyton Manning iconic soundbite from Aloha Stadium. That game being in Hawaii felt like the Pro Bowl to me, though. When the guys are wearing the leis around their neck, everything being out in Hawaii and beautiful weather and Hawaii and everything out in Hawaii, it felt like a real Pro Bowl, like a reward, you know. And
didn't Sean Taylor almost like decapitate somebody in a Pro Bowl game?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, for some reason, it goes back. My mind drifts back to watching that clip, and even it's like, oh, we're taking it light, and he just goes out there and just waylays somebody. I'm like,
man,
no days off, man.
I miss the Hawaii Pro Bowl, man. That was,
that
was a punter.
Huntley's playing in Pro Bowls.
Oh my god,
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I also miss when the good players played in it.
Yeah,
that's also that was also a plus that there were good players in it. I've got several old Pro Bowls from like 91, 80, 89, 90, 91, all recorded on VHS. Back when I was a kid, I would record the Pro Bowl game and stuff. So it was, I got 3 or 4 Pro Bowls from the early 90s, late 80s on VHS tape. Mainly the Barry Sanders one, because he was my favorite player.
They've got a way to now do a conversion of those old VHS tapes into like multimedia or something. So
yeah,
if you ever thought about that, try and get them compressed or digitized or whatever they call it.
I did that with one tape we had of an old tape we had of family stuff at the lake and whatnot. I put it on a thumb drive so I could upload it to a private YouTube so my family could watch it, because it was too big for me to email it to everybody. So I just did a private YouTube link and sent everybody the link, but I had to convert it to digital. So I've got a few tapes. I got a VCR back here, though, if you can see right there. So right here. So if ever want to watch VHS, I can just throw it in the old VCR right there.
That is true. There's nothing like rewinding a tape and going through that whole process and hearing the machine go, wee.
Dude, I got the Bama LSU, the Sean Alexander game on. I found that VHS tape that I got that game recorded on. Of course, you can just pull it. You can pull any of these up on YouTube now if you want to watch them. That's the easiest way to do it. But it's still cool putting that tape in and hear it going and clicking down there. That tape start playing. You young kids today that may ever see this know nothing about that.
Grew up on VHS, and then DVD came around, and then DVD just got destroyed by Blu-ray, and then Blu-ray got destroyed by streaming.
Yep.
So
yep.
That's the crazy thing about our generation is we're part of the old generation too, but we saw so much change so quick. Like everything was supposed to be the next best thing. Now, I mean, Redbox, that was one of those things that it was huge for like 5 years, and then now streaming. Why nobody needs Redbox? Let's go to streaming. So
they yanked all them suckers out. Them red boxes that came and scooped all them up.
Yep.
And that's a wrap.
So you guys have any hot takes or any crazy predictions for the SEC this year? Do you have a team that you think
I have one
historically good but isn't going to be good this year? Or do you think Kentucky's going to win 10 games? Like,
my hottest take was that South Carolina had dud written all over them. They were going to go 7-5.
Yeah,
we were going to beat their ass.
I'm really nervous about that game.
I am too.
Everybody is.
Season starts. But I could definitely see them kind of, last year people forget they played a very close game at home against LSU, and were kind of dead to rights in Alabama, but stormed back very quickly.
They probably should have beaten us, to be honest.
Game, but
we did give them 10 points in the last 20 seconds of that.
Yeah,
we got lucky and beat them.
They
they
really turned around after that game. They won out.
And that's why I think they're primed for a dud, because the expectations now are for them to be a contender. Mm-hmm. And they've never, ever had that, ever. Maybe when Spurrier was there with Marshawn Lattimore and Jadeveon Clowney, that they expected to contend, and they went 11-2. So they had a good team to beat us. But this year, everybody's picking them. Everybody that I know is picking us to lose a couple of games, and South Carolina's one of them. I don't know any Bama fan that thinks we're going to win that game, which is why I think that they're primed for. I think they're a year away. I think next year is the year that South Carolina should contend. I think next year is the year that they're a threat. But I think this year they've got 2003 Auburn written all over them. To me, except they're not number one, and I don't think they'll get shut out the first 3 games of the year, but like that 03 Auburn team did. But the expectation of them to be something that they just can't live up to just yet. The first year, expecting to do something big is tough to handle sometimes. Now maybe they handle it great, and I'm way wrong, but my hot take was that they stumbled this year to a 5-loss season, and then we're contenders next year.
I could see it. I think I'm kind of in that same boat where, I think 8 wins is probably very doable for them. I still consider them sort of. I'm very high on the Norris Sellers, and I think they'll go out and they'll win a game or two that maybe surprises some people because they're little old South Carolina. But
I
think they're really in the conference the way it is now. I think they're probably a 4-4 team, and even if they go 3-5 in conference, I could still, see them beating Clemson or someone, or if it's us, I don't know what the season will look like at that point. I'm more nervous for Missouri, I think, actually, because I think they're a very easy team to overlook. I think they'll be right in the middle of the league, just like South Carolina, and they have a bye right before they play us. It's Missouri, I know, but
I'm actually pretty proud of what Eli Drinkwitz has done there. I think was it Barry Odom? Was he the head coach when they came over from the Big 12? Barry Odom, I think so. And they made it to the SEC championship 2 years in a row from the East, and that was before Georgia took over. But after he left them, they were kind of pretty much a laughing stock of the SEC down there with Vanderbilt and all those other teams.
Or it was Gary Pinkel. Sorry, was the Missouri coach.
That's right.
Odom. So wasn't Odom Wisconsin?
I think he got fired. Yeah.
Right, or was he Missouri? I don't remember.
He was Odom was
Alvarez was Wisconsin. I was thinking Barry Alvarez, Wisconsin. My bad.
Odom took over for Pinkel because Pinkel was there for 20-something years or however long.
He was there forever.
And then he, after the second time that they played Auburn in the SEC championship in 2013, and then they played us in 2014, and they got whipped. And then Pinkel retired. Odom took over. I think he was the coach for 2 years, and then he got canned. So I don't know. Hot takes. I'm more, the seasons can change so quickly just based on what happens, injuries and everything. Hot take, I guess Alabama and Texas in the SEC title game.
Really reaching out on a limb there. Huh?
Oh yeah, real big one. I was going to say, South Carolina making it to the SEC title game, but there are still glaring issues. I'm watching that. The Netflix special is Saturday.
Any given Saturday.
Well, I'd forgotten that Lenore Sellers got hurt in one of the games, and Robbie Ashford had to come in, and they ended up getting beat pretty bad in that game. I was like, well, what if he didn't get hurt? What if he had won that game? That'd have been a 10-win team, 11-win team. So I don't know.
Do y'all feel like Florida might be in a similar situation as South Carolina, or do you think they'll have the opposite effect?
I think if they don't have DJ Lagway playing and he's not 100%, that they could be a 7-5, 8-4 team. If he is, if he's a healthy and playing to the best, I think they could win 10 games. But
I think if he's firing all cylinders, I think they got a shot at beating Georgia. But that's a big if, because if he's not, Florida doesn't have much else.
I mean, they were down to QB3 at Georgia.
I know, that's right.
And they don't have what's his face there anymore.
Florida, their schedule's tough. I mean,
they
play Texas, they play Georgia, I think they play A&M, I think they play LSU.
They have the toughest schedule in the SEC.
Miami out of conference. They have Florida State out of conference. I mean, it's like I think I said last year, I don't think they'll lose 2 games, but there was a pathway where it wouldn't have been so crazy to say that if things didn't go their way. I mean, their schedule's brutal. I think my expectation for Florida would probably be about, if I had to go best and worst, I'd say, probably like best 9 wins, worst like 6. But I think they're going to scare teams every week. My hot take would definitely be, I think Georgia going like 9-3, finally getting got one of these weeks where, they've been squeaking out these wins for the past 5 years. And I think just with the brutality of the SEC now, with no division structure, they can't sleepwalk through
the least anymore
without getting got. It's just,
I see that. I heard that, Jeff. That was good.
I mean, Georgia would clinch the East at like week 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? Beat Tennessee in week 9 or whatever.
Yeah. And it'd be like, hey, wrap up the East with 6 weeks left in the season.
Yeah.
And we're grinding out to the Iron Bowl, having to win out from.
That's why, I was fine with the whole if they could have restructured the West and East divisions, I think it could have saved it at some point. But I mean, the West was just heavy loaded with too many teams. I mean,
geographically, it didn't make sense. They should have blown it up. If they're going to keep divisions, they needed to blow it up anyway and really East-West it.
I mean, I think even with it, like based on geographic locations, Alabama and Auburn could have been in the East, and Missouri, they'd have gone over to the West. To your point, it'd have been, the structure didn't make any sense as far as that goes. So it always favored Georgia and Florida. Because everybody else feels pretty, Tennessee occasionally being good, but
it's interesting. There's not many teams, you can't say Vanderbilt's going to be at the bottom anymore.
Diego Pavia certainly doesn't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's going to be an easy win,
I think Vanderbilt's looking at another 7-5 or 6-6 team.
I do. I don't think
they just come on now. Pavia's not Johnny Football. But if Johnny Football couldn't do anything other than what he did, then Diego Pavia is not going to take Vanderbilt to the promised land.
No,
but for Vandy, that's incredible. Yeah,
7-5 2 years in a row would be great.
I mean, with the exception of Kentucky and Mississippi State, I think every team can get you. I think expectations for each of these teams, and none of them are truly in the gutter. I think Arkansas, it's maybe a little disappointed in Pittman, but they have a roster there. I mean, they're no slouch, and we don't play them, but I'm just really interested to see how the league takes shape, especially early in the season, because there's kind of that mushy middle where it's like there's the top 4. I think LSU, Texas, Georgia, Alabama are kind of the teams everyone's looking at. There's like 8 teams right below them that it's just
the 4-4 group.
Yeah, you could never. I mean, we could all rank them, and none of us would probably get close to what the standings are going to look like. It's just madness. But
I think there's going to be a bunch of that 5-3, 4-4, 3-5. You're going to have a bucket load of teams in that bucket there. Yep. And then a couple of the bottom feeders, the 0-8 teams are 1-7, that not even competitive. But You're going to see a couple of top heavies and a bunch of 3, 4, and 5 loss teams in the league.
Yep. I think there's such a question mark over the conference as a whole. I know Texas is the top right now just because I got the most returning value and the wonder kid at the helm. But overall, like this is kind of the year to do it for any of these other teams to maybe claim a spot.
Yeah, that's why I think Bama's primed to win the SEC this year. Just talent and just a different feeling about this team than there was a year ago, and there should be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even last year, the path was set. You know,
I mean, I picked Alabama in my bracket to win it all last year.
Yeah,
9-4 and didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, and there was that 4 week in the back half where like it was still anybody's game.
Yeah,
everybody was tied essentially.
It's like the basketball season. Like you look at the last week of the season, and there's a bunch of teams that are 8-8 in the league, in the basketball league.
Yeah.
Like, okay. There's one team that's games above everybody else, and everybody else is right in that 8-8, 9-9, right around there. I'm excited though. A week away.
Yep. It's coming
Saturday
quick.
can't get here quick enough, man. We could start having some real data, talk about some not answers to all questions in week 1, but
just
finally have something to plug in.
To talk about.
Like, okay, now this is what we saw here. So
something to really satisfy the itch for football coming back. So
yeah,
ready for that.
Texas and Ohio State has got to be one of the best first games I can remember.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That'd be. When is that one? Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. I think 11 o'clock. So it's really that.
Oh, that's right. Well done. Put Texas Ohio State on at 11.
You be at Ohio State?
It's in Columbus. So they're doing a home and home.
Fox, big noon Fox. Well done.
Which we play Ohio State in a home and home in
27-28, I think.
Yeah, a few years. So
don't forget, don't sleep on I think it's the Sunday game. The Notre Dame travels down to Miami.
Yep.
First game. So I mean,
Catholics versus convicts.
Crazy enough, I'm going to say that Notre Dame's going to win this game, and Miami starts off 0-1.
I hope somebody.
Carson Beck's going to be destroyed. I don't think Carson Beck has a good season whatsoever.
Well,
yeah, he plays in the ACC now, though.
That's fair.
True. It'll be much easier for him, that's for sure.
That's a fact.
I just think Carson Beck got exposed when you take away Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers. I think we saw the real Carson Beck last year.
Well, their run game was terrible. It was one of the worst run games in the SEC, and I think
they couldn't get him out of trouble.
Figure that out, yeah.
Just rattle his cage a little bit, and Beck's out. He's done. If you bust him up early, it's over.
I think he's a serviceable. What's that? Sorry,
I said, no, it's all good. I said, like in that SEC championship game, and Stockton got concussed or got his helmet knocked off, and we see Carson Beck come out there with just one arm and his other arm's basically flailing around. I was like, why are you doing this to the man? You're literally just putting him to the slaughter.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what happens if he hurts his other arm? Good Lord. But yeah,
addition by subtraction.
It's okay. We'll put Stockton back in there. We'll put Stockton. I don't
know.
Gonna. Is he gonna win a lot of games? I don't know.
I'm really curious about them because people forget what happened against Georgia Tech last year. I mean,
8 overtimes.
They really kind of stumbled through that win in the end. Like they probably shouldn't have won that game. They got lucky a couple times in OT, which I think if a game goes 8 overtimes, both teams do.
Yeah, usually something happens.
But it's going to be tough for them. They're not playing Missouri, South Carolina, and Vandy back to back anymore. So
if we're talking about dark horses, I think Tech, outside of Clemson, Tech could have a real shot at a conference championship.
Here's my thing with Georgia Tech is a lot of people seem to be saying that, and that makes me not want to pick them because
it's true. That is true.
The ACC is just so you never know what's going to happen in that conference outside of maybe Clemson. I think Clemson's probably going to be in the championship.
Yeah,
pretty easily.
I'm with you. I think if Clemson beats LSU, they're going to be undefeated going into that ACC championship game. If they lose to LSU, I think they'll have one loss.
That I think could be anybody's game.
Yep.
I don't think Clemson's going to lose until the playoff, until the postseason.
Nobody just really even talked about. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying North Carolina kind of has an easy schedule. Just looking at it ahead. I know there's all the chitter chatter about Bill Belichick and what he's actually going to be able to do in college, but
nobody's talking about SMU.
Yeah, SMU.
I haven't heard anything. No chatter from SMU the whole fall camp, and I'm like, they got picked into the dadgum playoff last year, and I thought they still had a good amount of players still.
They do, but their schedule is significantly more difficult in conference. I think they played could be wrong, but I think they played essentially the whole bottom half of the conference last year and maybe had one game they played Pitt and slaughtered Pitt, but then Pitt went on to lose like 7 straight games or something. It's like
Pitt was like 7-0 at one point, wound up 7-6 or 7-7 or something.
Yeah,
some crazy.
So it was just
crazy.
I'm interested to see, because you're right. I haven't heard a lot about them. Obviously they're ranked to start the year.
Is that Caden Salter still their quarterback and everything?
Kevin Jennings, I think Jennings is his name. But he's good last year. They could definitely make some noise in the ACC, that's for sure. But they're not going to kind of walk through that schedule. I don't want to use that word, maybe. But
that's why I think Clemson's going to be in that conference championship game with the projected first round quarterback and a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah,
and a loaded roster. I think if they stumble, it'll be because they did something or had an injury, Klubnik goes down, or they have a significant injury of some kind. Which all these things get thrown out the window once the injury gods start deciding who they're going to pluck.
Yep.
Right.
Because they sit back and go, I'll take this one. And, that looks good. I'll take one of those right there. Oh, there's Croyle. There's Brody. I'll snatch him up.
Oh, don't rip that Band-Aid back off again. Good Lord. It's 20 years ago.
Yeah, it happened right in front of me. Like from here to my closet door right there.
What was that, the 04? It was the 04 season, wasn't it? Or was it 05?
No, it was I think it was 2004. Yes, it was 04. It was this because Spencer Pennington was the backup and he did not perform at a high level.
Not optimal.
And then we got slaughtered in the bowl game by somebody. Louisville maybe, or Virginia Tech, or somebody beat us in the bowl game bad that year. I think it was 2004.
Oh Lord, I saw that video of Coach Kynes popping back up against. Got to stop that inside trap. It's still to this day. If you go back and watch that about that happening,
that should be playing in the Bryant Museum, because if not for that interview, we would not have Nick Saban.
Correct. And that's
they would have hired Joe Kynes was going to be the next head coach, I think, until the powers that be saw that interview and they started going, that cannot be the coach at Alabama. We cannot have this guy in front of a microphone for the next however many years. Like, no. And then they pivoted massively. I got no basis for that other than a hunch that the good old boys wanted Kynes to steady the program because of the Shula firing, and then they saw that interview and were like, okay, yeah, no, we're
going to go in another direction.
We need to rethink this whole thing.
Mal, you're going to go stay outside Nick Saban's house for 6 days.
Yeah,
and
that's what Mal Moore said. All right, I'm getting on a plane. I'm not leaving until he's the coach. I'll live in my car for a month if I have to, but that will not be the coach. That's not going to be my legacy, is that guy.
It was rough.
Because that'd have been his last hire. And he's like, that's not going to be my last hire as AD of Alabama. That's not going to be what they remember me for, is hiring that guy. Love Joe Kynes, hell of a, good old boy, roll tide through and through. But no, he was not going to be the answer to what we needed at that time. So thank you for that interview. because that gave us Nick Saban.
Every time.
All
Every
right.
time.
All right, guys. Well, we've touched on a lot of stuff tonight. We're going to wrap this thing up. Hopefully we gather up same time next week. We'll have a Bama game to discuss, get our takeaways from that game. So hopefully we'll see you guys in a week.
Absolutely.
We'll be talking about a Bama win.
Absolutely.
Hope so.
We better. God, man. Jeez.
It's going to be.
I don't even want to think about if we lose that game.
Can't wait. I'm ready for it.
I'm not even going to put that out there. So, yeah. We're covering. Somehow we're going to cover. May not be pretty, but we're covering.
Yeah, I would say so.
I got to believe it. Even if it's 14-0 in a mutter.
Yeah.
It won't feel like it, but I think it will.
All right. I'll say 24-13. That's my official prediction.
That's fair. I say 24-10. That was
The weather's bad. The weather's good. I'll throw out a weather's bad, weather's good prediction. The weather's good. I'll go 34-17. How's that?
I like that.
I'll go 37-24.
I said 24-10. If it's dry field, I'm going to say 34-13.
31-17, regardless of weather conditions. Sticking with both.
That'll work.
I just think if it's kind of like what we talked about. Kind of like what we talked about. Rough first half, open it up in the second.
Hope so. Hope so, boys. All right. Well, it's good convening again. It's been a while, so it was nice to round the crew back up. So let's plan on a week, and we'll have a game to discuss, and hopefully it'll be a win. So,
all right.
Until then, gentlemen, roll it.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.